Alright guys, so next video here in the Woodsman Ways series. Kind of want to start this one off once I start, digging through the Woodsman pack here and show you what I carry. I've had a lot of questions, especially over the past couple years, that were, bug out type questions. And I really didn't entertain too many of them questions. I did answer a couple people, and it's not that I'm trying to be ignorant. To be totally honest with you, didn't really get into the whole bug out thing. But moving along with our preparedness here, the people that are doing the whole bug out thing and that type of stuff, they're actually preparing themselves. So can't knock them on that. I can't say that I wouldn't bug out. I hate using that word for some reason, but I'm not saying I wouldn't do that. I don't call it the same thing, I guess you'd say. Excuse me while I tend my venison loins here. Alright, so there was a couple people I answered back, like I said, that kind of explained to me what they had in their packs, and pretty much their suggestions, or actually their questions, were pertaining to what would I put in my bug out kit. And a lot of them that I seen, they were pretty set as far as gear, but the common denominator, I guess, from the videos I've seen on the topic and all the questions that I got was people tended to way overpack in the medical department or first aid department. They carry all this high speed gear for medical supplies, and I'm almost willing to bet that they don't even know how to use half of it. But that's personal opinion, and I'm not knocking anybody. I'm just throwing things out there. Another thing that they seemed to carry a lot was food, and that was a big question that I had. What would I carry for food? So we'll dig out what I got in my pack here shortly. But my question to them was, you seem like you're set up decently. I mean, I don't know their skill level and how good they are in the woods or wherever it is they're bugging out to, but my question to them was always, what are you gonna do when that 3 days of food runs out? Do you have the skills to procure more food or get yourself more food, whether it's hunting, trapping, whatever? And a couple of them replied back, and I kind of opened up their mind, which was good. And again, I wasn't knocking them. It just struck me as, you're so food and medical heavy that you're taking up room for other stuff that'll help you out in the long run, which is, I guess, what a bug out would be. So, like I said, I kind of opened up their minds, and it struck me as kind of funny, So like, well, I got this food and that food, and I'm good for 3 days and all this stuff. And like I said, the only thing that my brain could think when I was reading that or talking to somebody was, what are you going to do after that? What are you going to do when that stuff runs out, As far as the medical stuff goes, in my scout kit, I carry just a little thing. It's got some Band-Aids, some anti-ointments or whatever, antibacterial ointments, stuff like that. No big deal. There is a tourniquet in there. In my big pack, I have a little bit more. It's a little bit bigger of a medical kit, but it's still not that advanced. And if you need something, like an AED or stuff like that in your pack, you're in a tough spot there, and the chances for you are probably not good to begin with. So I tend to lean more away from that and carry other things that are going to benefit you more long term, than the medical supplies and stuff like that. I definitely say a medical kit has its spot in any one of these packs, which is why I carry them. But it's for little things, you know. Aspirin goes a long way, so that would be something good to carry. If you're hip to the game and, you know, up to snuff on your medicinal plants, that's a bonus too. But you know, there's nothing like an aspirin when your head's just pounding. You know, you get one of the migraines or something. Now you got to go out and look for the plant and stuff like that. And like I'm saying, it's good to know, and that's stuff you definitely want to learn. And I'm learning it. You know, I got books on it, and when I come out here, I look for the plants, try to figure out what area they're in and stuff like that, so I know where to come back to in the area that I would be. But you know, definitely pack aspirin, man. Ibuprofen, Tylenol, something like that. So enough rambling on that. Let's dig through this Woodsman pack, and I'll show you guys what I'm packing out right now. It's end of November. Hasn't been really too cold. Today was in the 20s, so it got pretty cold. But like I say, everything in that pack, you know, I could come out here and never have to go home. I'm quite confident in that with the skills I have and the gear that I'm packing. So let's take a look at that right now. Alright guys, so got the Wetterlings Hunter axe here. I could throw that in my scout kit easy enough. I had it out chopping wood to get this fire going, so I didn't have it in there. But winter time, carry the Scandinavian Grantsford Brooks Forest axe. It's a bit bigger, a lot easier to process wood that way. So that's the axe I go with come winter time. Alright, dig into the pack. This is redundant because I've done the summer and winter pack out. Most of this stuff is the same, and most of it won't change. But I do have some things that kind of finish off the kit here, and this pack's now complete. A little bit of coffee, that's key. Couple spare knives, got the Mora Bushcraft Series knife, and then my, pretty sure it's a 7-inch fillet knife. I went over this in another video too, but you know, my uncles and cousins kind of got me into the hunting and trapping thing way back when I was knee-high to a grasshopper. This is the only knife I've ever seen on their hip, and it did everything. Skinning game, cutting the meat up, butchering it, you name it. This is what they used. So big fan of that knife as well. Part of my mess kit and containers. We'll talk on this a little bit more towards the end of the video. But it's just a diet bottle, backpacker style, with the GSI cup. And that's right over the top of it. Part of my meal kit. Do have a couple chem lights in there I like just to hang by camp in case I have to go off from camp at night. Do some scouting, check traps, whatever the case may be. You know, easy to identify my camp after that. And then pocket fishing kit. It's packed sinkers, hooks, couple lures, all that good stuff right in there. So I like to keep that. Throw it back in here so I ain't got stuff all over the place here. Alright, so one long pocket. I got the two small on the other side. Top pocket, fishing trapping kit. Got a pill container here with a couple extra lures for my pocket fishing kit. 3 little tubes here, each have fishing line around it. Hooks in one, an assortment of hooks, sinkers in the other, and I believe the other one has one more lure in it. A top water minnow, I believe it is. So that's all fishing stuff. Full roll of bank line. But, you know, again, fishing, trapping, lashing stuff, whatever. Bank line, my preferred cordage. Got my trapping kit that I've had forever. I've showed in past videos. A couple electric tape containers taped together. One side's got, I don't know, 25, 30 number 4 picture wire snares. The other side's got leaders, which I can use for fishing, but I've got them set up right now as snares. So plenty of ways to get some food there between fishing and trapping. Close that real quick so nothing falls out. Bottom pocket is my fire kit, or fire pocket rather. Strike Force, some rubber bands. I can make a slingshot, do some hunting. Not a big fan of slingshots myself, but I have it if I want to do that. Stormproof match kit. Some extra flint for my flint and steel kits. My fire kit's got a Dones bar, dryer lint, jute twine, a bunch of jute twine, some wet fire cubes, extra lighter, and then I have a mini Inferno tin from when they first came out. Still got some of those. So that makes up my fire pocket. And again, I got my knife on my hip with my ferro rod. And then my leather pouch on the other side with a flint and steel kit. Alright, so now let's dig into the main compartment here. Put that buckle before I lose something. Alright, so right off the bat, second Guyot bottle. Again, we'll get some more on that at the end of the video here. I have 3 Nalgene plastic bottles. This one's full with oatmeal. This one's full of flour. Do a lot with flour. And this one's filled with pancake mix. So a lot of carbohydrates right there in them 3 containers. This is just another flint and steel kit I was messing around with. I actually forgot to pull it out. It's not part of the kit. Toss that to the side. Alpine cook pot. It's got all my spices in here. And I forget, it's either Tylenol or ibuprofen, one of the 2. Tylenol. Good to have, you know. You can go ahead and think you're super medicinal, man, if you want to, and run out looking for a plant when your head's pounding already. You know, carry some aspirin. Makes sense. I got garlic salt, pepper, salt, cinnamon, some cayenne pepper, and I think, yeah, that's it. So, another container. Talk about that a little later. Alright, VS17 panel. Packs up really small, flat. We use it in the military for signaling. You can use that for a lot. You can use it, lay on the ground as a barrier. You can cut that thing up, tag a route, whatever the case may be. A lot of uses for that, and it packs up small, so I'll carry it. Cotton bandana. A wash basin, which is huge. So you can just boil up some water, fill this thing up, take care of your personal hygiene needs. Huge, absolutely huge. Make sure you guys are cleaning yourselves when you're out in the field. Got a field guide in here for wild plants. This is the Forager's Harvest. My map case with all my map tools in it. And my compass. In this bigger kit, I go with my Kaminga compass for that. Alright. my bedroll. Italian wool blanket, and that green you see there, lightweight fleece sleeping bag. I've since taken the videos down, but one of the first, I don't know, few videos I've ever did on YouTube, period, I slept out in the snow with this combination right here and a fire, and I was good to go. So it'll definitely work. Again, I can change out with my military sleep system, or lose the lightweight fleece sleeping bag and add a second wool blanket, which is probably what I'll do here come like end of December, January, February, stuff like that. And again, that's the only thing that changes in this kit is clothes and what I use to sleep. Now, I've had a lot of questions on, hey Sarge, do you really prefer wool over your military sleep system? And the answer to that is yes, without a doubt. There can be situation dependent. Now, I've used the military sleep system all over the world now, and the thing's never done me wrong. I've slept out in the snow with that, woke up, had it snow on me, you couldn't even see the sleeping bag, and I was warm. So it's good, it's definitely good. The problem with it is, if you're using fire, which in the military we don't, there's a problem. You're not gonna get all them burn holes in your wool blanket from sparks coming off the fire. Your military sleep system, you're gonna get burn holes. Now if you put holes in the bivy sack, the bivy cover, which is your waterproof layer, now you're bumming. So yes, I definitely prefer wool over that, especially where I can have a fire, which if I'm out in this type of situation, out in the woods like I always am, I always have a fire. So I definitely prefer the wool. But the MSS has its place too, don't be fooled. Got a 20-liter sea-line dry bag. In this, pretty much it's just clothes and some extra tools. Dig into this. I did carry a emergency space blanket. Not something I need to get to right away because I have my top. That's the other thing. I opened this bag up. The top you see behind me, my Woodsman top, actually goes in this pack. I just had it set up because I'm out here shooting other videos too. This is my cordage bag. I got a 300-foot hanks of paracord and probably 100 feet of duct tape. I took off the roll and rolled it flat. That larger first aid kit I was talking to you about. It's got a little bit more in it. It's got some self-adhesive, it's like an ace bandage that sticks to itself, so you don't need the little metal clips and stuff. I do have a tourniquet in here. A lot more gauze than I do in the smaller kit. Another bag with all my tools. Basically has my Baco saw, a Lansky's buck sharpener, the Lansky's diamond rod sharpener, this little red one for my fillet knives, the DC4 sharpener, and then I have the Pathfinder spear point with a cloth sail needle strapped to the back, or taped to the back of that. That's basically my tool bag, no pun intended. Another little mesh bag here, basically is hygiene, but I do have Aquamera Pro filter in there. Toothbrush, toothpaste, microfiber towel to dry off with, and a couple small handkerchief type, 100% cotton, but it's not really as big as a bandana. So those are in there. And the only other thing in here, I'm not going to pull it all out, guys, is just extra clothes. I got some extra underwear, some extra socks, a couple extra t-shirts, you know, stuff like that. Then the only other thing I didn't pull out of the pack, which makes it keep its shape, is my sleeping pad. You know, good night's sleep. You know, gotta have one. It doesn't have to be the foam one, they sell all kinds, but I definitely like to have one. Sleeping on the ground, that's for sure. Alright guys, so only other two things I didn't show you that are also containers is I got these two flasks here. One holds, you know, manly beverages, and the other one is what I come up with to hold my cooking oil. So it's got a little window on it in the front. I can see how much I got left. That's pretty cool. I was looking for a while. I tried a couple different plastic type bottles. They ended up leaking in my pack, so this is the solution I came up with. Small, compact. It's not going to leak because it's made for this stuff. Not so much oil, but liquids. So I'm going to try that out, and I'll see how that works out for us. So now containers. So I have two containers here. I've got the three that hold my food stuff. I have the Guyot bottle with the GSI cup in the outside pocket. I've got the second Guyot bottle here. My MSR cook pot. And my Chinook folding skillet. So, shoot, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 containers. And that's not counting any of the Ziploc baggies that I could use inside the pack. And my reason for that is, again, back when I went, you know, through the Pathfinder system online course there and did all my stuff, I had one Guyot bottle, and it will in fact do everything you need it to do. You can make choc cloth in it, you can cook in it, you can drink out of it, all that stuff. What you're not going to do is all that stuff at the same time, which becomes a pain in the neck. So I like my containers, I like my cook pot, my fry pan. Showed my fry pan in many videos. But long-term survival, long-term wilderness living, whatever the heck you want to call it, you definitely want some containers. So that's why I got all these. Once I run out of the food stuff in here, you know, after that, I'd have to get my own food, which I'm very capable of doing. But then they can become, you know, storage for water, different wild edibles if I wanted to, something like that. But containers definitely make life easier. If you've spent any amount of time out in the woods doing all the stuff we do, whether it's bushcraft, survival, training, whatever you want to call it, you know exactly what I'm talking about. So I just wanted to touch on the container topic at the end of this. But again, you know, this goes with the preparedness. And like I said, when I designed my pack, for me, it was more of a one pack will do everything. I mean, I don't want to haul this whole pack around every time I go out. And what I mean is if I'm going out for the day, or I'm hunting, something like that, doing a scout, you know, for the hunting season or something like that. I don't want to carry this big pack. I can use my scout kit, you know. So just another way to be prepared. It's key. Like I said, I have everything I need in there. Beyond a shadow of a doubt, this top folds up, it goes in there. And then I could just interchange my clothes for the season and my sleep system, and I'm good to go. I could leave the house with this pack, you know, like I keep saying, and never come back. And that's a fact. So appreciate you joining me for another video. Some of the reasons behind the way I think, some of the stuff that I pack and carry, I know you guys like to see that, as do I. I like to see what other people do. And that's kind of how I come up with what I've got so far, you know. I had to start somewhere too, so it's been an ongoing process. I'm pretty happy with what I got. I don't need to change anything at this point. My pack's pretty much ready to go, the both of them. So I wanted to share that with you, show you a little method to my madness, and you know, hopefully someone out there can take something away from this and learn something from it. So thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you real soon with another video in the Woodsman Ways series.